During the presidential election, then-candidate Donald Trump vowed to make America great again for all Americans. But tonight, he's taking some heat for appearing to stack his cabinet with the super wealthy. Politico with the headline, Trump's team of gazillionaires. Politico surmises that if Trump appoints folks like his education secretary, pick Betsy DeVos, as well as Rudy Giuliani, Mitt Romney, and others, his cabinet and administration could be worth as much as $35 billion. The New York Times deputy Washington editor, Jonathan Weissman, sarcastically tweeting, between some of those names and others, this is going to be quite the working class administration. In moments, we'll be joined by Anthony Scaramucci, a member of Donald Trump's transition team. We'll ask him about the criticism. But we begin with Peter Ducey reporting tonight from Palm Beach, Florida, outside Mar-a-Lago.
Sandra, because working class voters propelled Donald Trump to the presidency, some on the left are now crying foul that the billionaire is surrounding himself with other billionaires. The two people who are reportedly the president-elect's favorites for the top two spots at the Commerce Department, Wilbur Ross and Todd Ricketts, both billionaires. Another name swirling around as a possible cabinet member is Harold Hamm, an oil billionaire. And the education secretary he's already nominated, Betsy DeVos, comes from a family worth at least $5 billion. Politico did the math and speculates that if you add up the net worth of Trump's rumored cabinet secretaries, the sum could reach $35 billion. But the current administration behaved basically the same way when filling key positions, even nicknaming one proposal the Buffett rule, after the second richest person in the country, Warren Buffett. A quick look at President Obama's own cabinet room over the last 8 years shows massive wealth. There's Commerce Secretary Penny Pritzker, a businesswoman from Chicago worth $2.4 billion. Her dad helped found Hyatt Hotels, and she grew up to lead a lucrative real estate business. Then Secretary of State John Kerry, worth $103 million, and also married to Heinz food processing heiress Teresa Heinz. And the Veterans Affairs Secretary Bob McDonald made $15.9 million in 2013 alone while working as the chief executive of Procter & Gamble. President Obama did bring aboard a Secretary of State who claimed to have been dead broke just a few years earlier, but as it turns out, that Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton, was worth $15 million while in office, and a whole lot more now. Sandra?
All right, Peter, thank you. Joining us now, Anthony Scaramucci is a member of President-elect Donald Trump's transition team and served on Mr. Trump's Economic Advisory Council. Anthony, thanks for being here tonight.
It's great to be here. Happy post-Thanksgiving.
You too, sir. Can you clear some of this up? Because there is a lot of talk about him surrounding himself with billionaires, as if that's a bad thing.
Well, I think the only thing that Peter left out is with the Trump bump, all of those people are a lot richer, including Warren Buffett, who's up $11 billion in the last 2 weeks.
And you're referencing the stock market rally we've seen since President.
So I think the good news is the denigration of wealthy people and the divisiveness of that sort of class warfare is sort of coming to an end. And I think that's a very good thing for the American people. The other thing that article left out is that every one of these people, Sandra, is an unbelievable philanthropist, gives tons of money away. She's an incredible philanthropist. In fact, she's dedicated her whole life to education, understanding the issues of education, and frankly, how to help poor people in indigent areas and in the inner cities get their children the quality education they need so that they can have an aspirational working class conversion into the middle class and hopefully into the affluent.
By the way, as Peter...
So I think this is a fantastic thing for the American people, that he's focused on meritocracy and talent as opposed to this nonsense of picking people based on their net worth not being enough.
As Peter pointed out at the top of his report, he said working class voters propelled Trump to victory in this election. Now Democrats are crying foul. Well, isn't that a key point? This isn't Trump supporters that are crying foul, saying we don't like what we're seeing. This is the left that is criticizing him for this.
The left has got a series of talking points about railing on rich people. They think that class division is a really powerful antidote for them, that they can get their people out to the polls. I think people are in general very, very tired of that. You know what people want? They want wage growth. They want jobs. They want quality education for their children. They want a right-sizing and an evening of the playing field as it relates to trade so that we can have super free trade, but let it be fair for the American people and for the American worker. And so if there are super distinguished people that have done amazing things with their lives, that have led to the great American success story that you just heard about, then so be it. Let's let those people help the rest of us get to where we want to go.
So let's clear up a couple other things as well, though, because when you dig into when you're looking at Munchin, right? Mnuchin and Bannon.
We would love the Munchin. I'm going to call him Munchin.
Okay,
tomorrow.
well, you can tease him all you want. It's my fault. Sorry about that. And Bannon, as we know, his Goldman Sachs background. I mean, you're talking about Wall Street backgrounds. How important is that, considering Donald Trump said, you know, he made his election on the system is rigged? Well, a lot of Main Street and those that are making the average $55,000 a year in this country, they think Wall Street's rigged. How is that for them to see him put people from Wall Street on his team?
I'm also proud of the Goldman Sachs, and I've worked on Wall Street for 28 years. And I've had this conversation with the president-elect, and I'll continue to say the same thing. There might be some bad actors on Wall Street. There's no question about that. But there are bad actors in many industries. But guys like Steve Bannon and Steve Mnuchin, in fact, they've been terrific people. They're high ethical, high integrity. I've worked very closely with both of those people. And I have a tremendous amount of confidence in them that they're going to do the right thing for the American people.
But while you're here, and we've got this news tonight on this divided transition team that you're seeing reports all over, very divided. But Mitt Romney, apparently, we saw the tweets from Kellyanne Conway today. How is it going? Can you let us know before you go?
Well, first of all, as it relates to Kellyanne, I love her because she's been so instrumental in the success of the campaign. Everyone on the team respects her, and so she's entitled to her opinion, and she's sharing it with people over Twitter, so God bless. As it relates to the transition in general, I said this to Bloomberg, I said it in a press conference, the transition has been nothing but orderly. The information is being provided that the president-elect and the vice president-elect...
Is he still being considered?
Who?
Mitt Romney.
Well, I have to take Vice President Pence at his word when he says he's being seriously considered for Secretary of State. I do think that there are other candidates in the field. And here's the thing, that the message to the American people is that there's a very orderly, very disciplined process. And what the president-elect is doing, he's doing a wide-ranging search so that when the people are finally declared, Sandra, he can say to the American people, listen, I really went through a rigorous recruiting process, and I picked the best person, or to quote Mr. Trump, a A++ player is going to join the administration.
So good to have you.
I'm very proud to be a part of it with him, and it's been a fantastic 2 weeks for us. And I think the American people are going to be very excited about their new administration.
Anthony Scaramucci, good of you to be here.
Good to be here. Thanks, Sandra.
Good to have you.